All right, so it's a few days after I had to chop off the bolts from the sn95 control arms, the front bolts, to make them work. I scored these wheels for 20 bucks, and there's one more. So it's a total set of 4 for 20 bucks, killer deal. They're 18 by 8 and plus 50 offset, which is kind of like Crazone. Let's see, so they're N keys. Let's see if we can't find the offset here. Yeah, so 18 by 8 right there. And then, yeah, it says ET50 on here somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, those are pretty awesome. We've got these ones. Maybe I'll try them on the Fox. The control arm is all the way out. There's nothing in there, which is great. So we can put the Fox control arms in here. Have a dinky little thing that we can roll out of here. Now, I wish I had like this control arm right here, like the bolt is still in it. Like you can see how much effort that friggin' took. Holy cow. There's a lot of cutting. It was very, very annoying. Let's see, here's the other end. So we had to do the inside and the outside. I tried to cut there to pry it out. That didn't work, so we had to get kind of wild with it. But yeah, so the real meat and potatoes of this all is that everything bolts up to the Foxbody's K-member just fine. So keep in mind this is an 18 by 8 wheel, and it's got plus 50 offset. Look how flush that fits. Like, I don't know if there's much more perfect wheel fitment. Anything bigger would just be too big. Anything smaller would just be too small. Like, oh man. That's crazy. Just think about that with like some like rear wheel drive offset. They're going to go crazy. They'll sit, and you can see the rear is a hair wider than the front, which is awesome because we can run front wheel drive offset wheels and tires, which you can get really cheap, usually for like $100 for a set of 4. Sometimes they'll have even wheels and tires on them, or I'm sorry, tires. So those will fit perfectly in the rear. We've still got 4-lug in the rear, but yeah, this is just absolute perfection right here. I can't even believe it. I might have to paint these wheels, I don't know, like this dark gray. They're plasti dipped right now, I guess is what I'm told. Oh yeah, they are, and they've got fleck in there too. Look at that. That's premium wheelage right there. But yeah, so I hooked up the control arm, put the brake rotor and caliper in there, and put the jack under it just to like hold it in place. But you can see that the wheel has moved forward, so it's got a little more caster, and it also has moved outwards by quite a bit. The factory wheels have much less offset. In fact, I have less tight of fitment with plus 23 wheels on my 87. So this is just absolutely like, that's perfection. So that is hitting the control arm. So we'll be able to run like 0 offset fronts or something like that and get some pretty crazy angle. You can see we clear the rear pretty good. The front itself clears pretty good, so we're probably not even going to have to cut anything. But still, I gotta come over here and look at it. Holy cow. Just look at that. Oh man. And I can visually see the amount of caster that it's adding, like already, just from, like, you can see that it's already pitching pretty hard. So this car is going to steer really well, especially with the sn95 rack. This one needs new end seals and inner tie rods, but I'm probably just going to do all new tie rods and replace the seals before I toss it in here and just run it as a factory unit otherwise. The rear has been bolted up, so it's ready to get taken out and potentially sold, or I'm not sure. I did order bushings for the front and the rear. So I'm gonna refinish these control arms and press in poly bushings. But we've got the factory stuff is just gross, and I want to take it out so I can get rid of all or most of this rust. That's pretty crazy up in there. Like, that's just insane. I don't know how that even gets that way, but yeah, and then we'll just get rid of everything that we can rust wise, and then we'll throw the new axle in there. There's a bunch above the rear, the gas tank too. I'm wondering, I'm thinking about stealing the sn95 gas tank. This one is metal, I believe. I wonder if this one's gas tank is plastic, because that'll be some durability and weight savings. Let's see. Where are you? Oh, let's see. Oh, wow, this thing's kind of rusty too. It's rustier than I thought it was. Gas tank's over here. Yeah, that's metal. You can see weld marks on it. But yeah, the exhaust when we got this car was just hanging off of it for with nothing bueno. But yeah, so this is a total score. Really excited about this. That just that looks so good. That makes this so real for me right now. Oh my gosh. And that's not even crazy low. That's pretty tucked up, and it still has 3 inches of ground clearance. The rear will probably squat down a little bit more just for adding caster, and because it can. The front probably has to stay up like that, the way that it is, for steering angle, which is important. This honestly has just so little steering angle with the factory control arms. I would bet that that's just factory sn95 30 degrees or so. Thanks, Chris Fix, for telling me what that is. But yeah, we'll be able to grab a little more angle once we throw the rack in, pull the limiters out, and get a way higher offset front wheels. But for now, this is just absolute win zone. I'm actually going to see how flush we can make this with the jack. There we go. So that's about as flush as we get. That's credit card flush almost. Let's see if we can. Holy cow. Look, oh, it rubs a little. Fenders would need to be rolled for that, but look at, oh man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, brother. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, and I was thinking about honestly cutting the arches and then moving them up, just welding them, 2 inches higher, but might be just a huge project. I don't know. We'll see. We can probably roll them, or at least maybe get some aftermarket wide body fenders, just for flush fitting a just so we can flush fit a wheel that's going to be 0 offset or plus 23 or something like that, because that's pretty gnar tight right here. I wonder how much camber it's going to be able to run, because I'd love to be able to run a whole bunch, but yeah, actually I would keep it a little higher just for the sake of control arm angle. So that's probably a really nice control arm angle. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's honestly a little monster truck right there. Yeah, maybe we'll have to cut the spindle so we can drop the control arm by maybe an inch or two, move the ball joint control arm down a little bit, and then also add some steering some steering angle or something like that with cutting the spindle where the tie rod connects. Who knows? But for now, this is pretty satisfying that it all bolts up. So now I can kind of like, in good faith, just pull the control arms, get them all refurbished and ready for those bushings. So when the bushings show up, they'll be good to go in. I'm probably honestly going to do those, and then if I do that before the bushings show up, I'll pull out the rear axle, move it into the back of this guy right here. The axle swap should be pretty easy. I might need new bolts, but there's a lot more space to work back there, and it'll just drag right down through here and we'll be good to go. Super easy. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I don't really have much to say, but I am excited, and I was losing motivation with those control arms being so difficult. So yeah, once I got past that, I'm way more excited and motivated. So with that, it's time to bid the shop good night, and GTFO here. Oh, look at the wheel. Oh boy.